Hello, my name is Don and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about two different scopes from Athlon. Now, both of these scopes I consider to be the perfect 22 long rifle scope, so stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so both of these Athlon scopes are 2-12 by 42. One is the Heras SPR and the other is the Heras BTR Gen 2. Now we're going to be focusing on the Heras SPR today, but we will be making some slight comparisons to the Heras BTR Gen 2 if I've already done a video on the Heras, so I will link to that down in the description. So we're going to set this over here for right now. So let's go over some of the specs on this Heras before we go any further. Of course, it's a 2-12 by 42. The eye relief is 3.6 inches. The click value is 0.1 of a mil. The field of view at 100 yards is 55.7 to 9.6 feet. The length is 12.8 inches. Tube diameter is 1 inch. The parallax adjustment, it does have side parallax adjustment, goes down to 10 yards to infinity, and it weighs about 23.5 ounces. This scope has 21 mils of vertical adjustment and 21 mils of windage adjustment. The windage turret is locking where the elevation turret is not. This has excellent clicks. They're very precise, very exact. There's very little, actually no, slightly a little bit of lash, but not much. I mean, it's hardly noticeable. And both the windage and the elevation have very, very good clicks. Very exact, very precise. The magnification adjustment is smooth as silk, as is the parallax adjustment. And again, it adjusts from 10 yards to infinity on your side parallax. This is a very nice scope. I've been playing around with the scope for about probably a couple of months now, and I've had this on several different rifles, 22 long rifles, AR-15s, you name it. I've been playing around with the scope on multiple different rifles. I love it. I love the scope. Now, being it has a 1-inch tube, you know, you're not going to get a ton of adjustment in it. It's just a fact of life. Right now, I have this on a 30 MOA base here. So I'm actually able to use about 18 of the mils. So I've got it cranked down enough where, you know, I'm able to use a lot of that vertical adjustment. And the nice thing about that is I'm able to get this from 0 to about 290 yards if I wanted to dial. Now, being at second focal plane, you do have to be on 12 power to use the holdovers on the reticle. So, all right, guys, so let's go outside and we're going to do some shooting from 200 yards all the way down to about 50. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're out here with the Athlon Heras. We have this on the Kid Ultra Lightweight tactical build. We're running this on a Monstrum. I think it's a razor claw mount. It's actually pretty decent for the money. Just like all Chinese mounts, the hardware is a little bit chintzy, but it seems to have pretty good lockup. So jury's still out on this mount, but this Heras scope is pretty damn impressive. It's got side parallax, adjustable parallax. It's got really good turrets on it for dialing. Now this is a second focal plane optic, so you can still dial this out at any magnification level and you're going to get good consistent hits. It's only if you're going to use holdovers, it has to be on 12 power. Other than that, I mean, if you'd like to dial with your 22, this is a perfect 22 long rifle scope. I mean, it's got a nice reticle on it, as you can see. It's fairly good size, so no matter what power setting you're at. You got the same reticle because it does not change as you move the magnification range like a first focal plane does. And that has a lot of advantages. The only thing that this scope is missing is illumination. And honestly, I don't use illumination very much, just at like dusk. Now we do have a little bit of left or right wind. We're out here at 200 yards. We're just going to take some shots and see, you know, if this, you know, if the dialing works like it's supposed to. I'm sure it does. It seems to have so far. I've played with this quite a bit and it's worked quite well. Everything moves real smooth on this scope. I haven't found any downsides to this thing at all, especially the price. It's under $300. Very, very good optic for the money. And again, I think this is the perfect 22 scope. All right, so the app, the StreetLock app says at 200 yards with this setup, it should be 6.84 MRAD. We're shooting long range match, SK. Let's see what we get here. We're gonna go for a headshot. First shot, cold bore. Let's see what happens here. Boom! Look at that. That's pretty sweet. These apps are amazing, guys. Now, this StreetLock app, you can't get updates on it, and I'm not even sure that you can download it on the Apple store, but you can still get it on the Samsung store, so the Android store. All right, let's see if we can repeat that. Wow, that wind is really pushing it. Looks like we better hold. Let's see. Let's try this. Yep. Yeah, that wind is really pushing that round. So we're still probably a 10th high. Still a little high. So that scope was on 12 power, and I think that's the max magnification range on it, and it really gave a very good picture for that. It didn't really darken up at all. Pretty impressed with the scope so far. Let's move up a little bit and see if we can't hit the 2 MOA target. I think it's a 2 MOA target. So we're kind of shooting crosswind. Boom! We got it. Boom! All right. Got it. All right, not too hard. Let's go up to 100 and shoot the KYL rack. You might be wondering why I have this big screen hooked up here. Sometimes with the trigger cam, what looks like it's in focus to your eye is not to the camera. So I have this up here so that I can make sure that we've got the best possible image. It takes the image off the camera and puts it on the screen. That way I can get you a very good idea on what this image actually looks like going through the camera. Now, you'll never get as good image through this camera as you see with your eye, but it gives you a decent idea, at least of what the reticle looks like. Let's see what we get here. So, I believe should be 1.6 with the long range match. All right, so let's back out a little bit. We're at full power right now, 12 power. We'll back it out to, what's this? That's about 5, maybe 6. Let's move it up to 6. So that's 6 power there. I mean, again, you really can't go wrong with that image. It looks really good to me. I'm sure it looks good to the camera. Fairly good anyway. Let's see if we can't get a little better. There we go. There's a little better. Just adjusted the parallax a little bit. Yeah, that's even better. Looks really good to the camera from what I can tell. So that is about 6 power. Let's back it out all the way to 2 power. So I mean, you're still, there's no way I could shoot that KYL with that. I wonder if I could at least hit that little one. That's why I like a center dot. I never could have did this with the Helos. I mean, there's 3 dots. I can't even see the other one, so maybe I can see it right. Oh, I hit it. So the first 4 I was able to hit. All right, well that was pretty cool though. I was able to hit, you know, the first 4 with on 2 power. That's how nice the reticle is. Now it does, I mean, look at that reticle. It is a nice reticle. I really like it. Now, of course, we don't have wind holds on it, but I probably wouldn't use it anyway. That's pretty slick. I really like that. So guys, yeah, I mean, you really can't beat these 2 scopes, especially for what they cost. This thing, if this had a 30 millimeter tube, we could get a little bit more vertical adjustment. I am on a 30 MOA rail right now, so we are candid down, so we're able to use, I think it's 22 MRAD of adjustment on this, and I think I'm down into like the bottom 4, so I think I'm able to get at least 18 MRAD of adjustment with this, which gets me out to about 290 yards, which is plenty with this little rifle. Yeah, I really can't say enough good things about this scope. I'm very impressed with it, especially for under $300. I mean, what more can you ask for? It doesn't have illumination, but big deal. I probably wouldn't use it very often anyway. Now, the Heras actually comes with more goodies in the box too. It came with a sunshade, scope caps, and a couple other little things that the Helos didn't come with. And the Helos is, you know, I think that's a $450, $500 optic, and it didn't come with them little goodies, which, you know, this is a really good value, guys. And by the way, the sunshade from the Heras does fit the Helos too. It's the same objective lens size. I'll put the specs up right here on both of these scopes. That way you can see, you know, I'm never going to remember all the scope specs. I'm the type of scope reviewer that's going to kind of show you what it's like to use the scope, tell you what I think about the dialing, you know, the function of the scope, and if I had any problems. Does not have a throw lever, but it does have a decent size, you know, raised area right here for your thumb. And it does a good job. Like I said, everything's so smooth here. None of it moves real hard. So, yeah, this scope is everything and more than I thought it was going to be, honestly. The Helos is an excellent value also for what you get. First focal plane, I believe it may have the same turrets as this, but both, it has windage and elevation locking turrets, and they're good turrets just like this. The controls are pretty much the same, but it's a first focal plane optic. Now, like I said, I have the MOA version, which I'm not crazy about. I really like the mill version. That MOA has a crosshair on it, and it's kind of heavy. you know, and it is illuminated, so the reticle does have to be a little heavier for the illumination to pick up. So now the mill version on the Helos does have a center dot, which I would much rather prefer instead of a crosshair. Once these center dots came out, I'm loving it, man. You can put that center dot right directly over your target and it doesn't obscure your target. So I really like that function. But guys, both of these scopes are just fantastic. If you do get the Helos, and I think everybody's already keen on this, you cannot find a mill version anywhere. And I really wanted the mill version of the Helos, but they didn't have it. And so they sent me the MRAD. Yeah, guys, really impressed with these scopes. Guys, if you like what you saw here, please give this video a big thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing here, go down there and hit that subscribe button, guys. I need your subscription. You know, it's a lot easier to get products from manufacturers when you have more subscribers. So if you like what I'm doing, go down there and hit that subscribe. It gives me, you know, more content when I can get product from manufacturers that I don't have to pay for. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.